Welcome to a mic'd up video. I haven't done one of these in a little bit, but it hasn't really fit in any of the workouts. And most of the time, I don't have a ton of time to spend out here because I don't want to spend 5 hours out here because my roommate wants to train as well at times. Although I do have access, whenever I want. When I am training, I kind of just want to get my training done a lot of the time. But I have theoretically heavy back squats today. So at the beginning of the session, I don't even want to say that like snatches didn't go well. I did extremely heavy back squat triples yesterday. I did up to 190, which is close to like my best ever. So it's not like I'm super fresh. And so I got up to 105 and I made that, missed 110 behind, then went back down to 102 and missed that. It was supposed to be like 8 singles that started at like 101 kilos for the snatch, which I kind of knew based on how hard I went on the squats yesterday and coming into this session that I probably wasn't going to be primed to do super well with those. But 105 is fine. And, I got work in. I think I missed 100 the first time I did it. Then it's just a lot of fatigue and a lot of like mid-back fatigue. Not really pain, but like I'm just tired because I did a lot of squats. I think it ended up being a 6x3 squat with each set of 3, almost each set of 3 going up. These days so the last 2 workouts I split between 2. To where I did the snatch clean and jerk work on one day and the back squat and pulls yesterday. So I don't have a day off between the back squat and that workout, which is another reason why the fatigue was higher than it would have been, because normally it would have been a day 6, day off on 7, and then day 1, fresh. But I don't know how fresh I would have been after, squatting that much. Today I actually have to squat again, and I figured it'd be a good point of the video to do mic'd up. So in the session I mentioned the snatches didn't go well. I did have some block power cleans, and I changed it to be 1+1 because I wanted to do some holds in the splits, and they went pretty decent. Like based on how snatches went, I wasn't really like aggressive and like super excited about doing them, but I managed to kind of like remotivate myself to work hard at them. I did power 120 with the pause split jerk, not the best hold if I remember correctly, but then I went up to 130. I had to do a full clean. And I actually would have been a PR from above the knee block clean or block power clean. My best power ever, I think, is 125. I'm pretty sure it's that. It might only be 120. I'm horrendous at them. So to even try that is nice, but I did a better jerk on that 130, which I was more focused on than the clean. The clean I'm not ever really too worried about. But I have back squats right now, and I've been rambling on long enough because I've been procrastinating these. I don't think they're going to go as well as yesterday. It would be kind of weird if they did, but I'm going to kind of, play it by ear. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 singles on the back squat that start at 164. Normally it'd be, like I mentioned, it'd be a day off from the last squat session of this one, but I don't think I would be super fresh anyway. So at worst, I'm going to get up to like 165, 170. I'll probably just start at 170 and just try to work from there. Probably do no belt until I get to 120 and then throw the belt on. It's been, I'm probably depending on the belt more than I would need to, but it just feels good to have it on. And I feel like it supports my back and like that hip, that last little bit that I have, just enough. And I'll take it right now. I mean, it still counts for squats. So we'll do a couple with the bar. I have no idea how these are going to go. But even if they don't go well today, I did squat well yesterday. So there is that. And at this point in the early blocks of training, if squats are going well, then that's more important than, being able to push the classics up and all of that. Oh, this was the most fun part of squats. But now I'm just apprehensive about squats in a normal way where everything's just kind of sore. I'm not really worried about overall pain. Got the light next to me, which works pretty well, but the bugs still like to fly around me, which is very annoying. But I'm going to do a squat. Oh, sometimes I like to do a push press there just to distract me from how uncomfortable the squat was. Not really painful or anything. I'm just sore and fatigued. Really like to be able to push up to a heavy single today because that's kind of what it seems like the workout wants me to do, but we'll see how that works. All right. We're going to throw a 70 on. I don't feel too horrendous with them. It's weird because like I slept enough. I've been eating enough. And it's just one of those things, like, if you just have a heavy session, you're just not going to train as well the next day. So I won't be too disappointed if I'm not able to do anything too crazy, but because it's singles, I might actually be able to push up pretty heavy. And that's one of the reasons. Another reason I want to do a mic'd up video here is to see, what happens. Can I get to 200? That would be, I think, really good. If I do the same thing as I did yesterday, get up to 190 for a single, I think I would be satisfied with that as well. But frankly, as long as I'm having pain-free squats, then I'm also happy with those as well. And I just say relatively pain-free. I mean, obviously I'm sore, but there's nothing that's like shooting out of pain. So I'm going to get 70 on there and probably just do singles. I'm lazy, and I did triples yesterday all the way up to 190, so I can be lazy today, right? Theoretically, I could put on my sleeves and use them from squats, but because I've already been out here training and sweating, they would be just annoying to put on. I have to take off my shoes, put them on. It's one of the big benefits of knee wraps. Like if you're just doing normal training like I am today, I think I'm not worried about the sheer amount of weight, or I'm not trying to hit a PR or anything crazy like that. Then these are nice because they still give me some support. But if you saw what would be, I guess, 2 videos ago, because I don't know how I'm going to with this, but yesterday's workouts, I don't know how many videos that will be, because this mic that one will be its own separate one. But when I did 170, my right knee wrap just unwound. So I'm not getting a ton of like support and bounce from them, but it's certainly more than nothing. And if I was like going to do a 1 rep max in the back squat or the front squat or anything, or even like heavy snatch and clean jerks, I would definitely want the sleeves on for sure. But I would just put them on at the beginning of a session, so then I would just leave them on the whole session. But these are nice because I can just take them off, put them on, and adjust them as I want. Because usually, like for snatches, I don't worry about how tight they are. For cleans, I might try to put them a little bit tighter, and squats maybe a little bit tighter, but it's like they're kind of the same, because if you put them too tight, at least for me, they start to bunch down just anyway. But like if they're super tight, or if I try to like crank them as tight as I can and they bunch down, then they kind of just pinch my leg on the back, not in sort of a painful way, but then I start to get like tingles in my feet. So it just starts to cut off the circulation just a little bit too much, and it doesn't support. Like it's just, all it is just cutting off the circulation. So anywho, we'll do a single here. Oh, it's nice to be able to squat again and not really be worried about like the strength of it and not the discomfort or the pain. One of the things I did well yesterday is I really tried to make sure I got the bar tight on myself before I took it off, and I think that put me in a lot better starting position. Made it feel a lot lighter. I think I felt my hip pop, which is weird, but just normal like quad and knee soreness, which is to be expected. So we'll go up to 120. We'll throw the belt on and just keep working. I'll probably go from 120 to 152 since I have the pound plates in here, and then just go right to 170 probably, and just take 10 kilo jumps to see what I can do. I do have the blocks out, so just in case I guess I do fail, I can just roll that behind me, but never really too worried about missing a squat in front, as long as I just keep the position. If I feel like I'm going to fail, just getting it off. And thankfully, over the years, I've developed that awareness of when I can grind through a rep, when I should just let it go. And I don't know. I just think about that guy who like broke his neck squatting, and he was an idiot, but his spotters were as big idiots as he was. But I just never worry about that. That's the thing, is like when you see stuff like that, it's not like, oh, maybe I got to be more apprehensive about squats. I'm like, I'm just going to keep being intelligent and trying not to get hurt, because I'm much less worried about like breaking my neck than I am like getting pitched forward too much and hurting my back, or like overextending in that sort of way. And if you're pitched forward that way, like that's the only really way that you get hurt on squats. Like you're not really going to get hurt just generally squatting up if you're in a decent position. It's going to be you're too far forward and you rounded and something pulled in your back, or you're at the bottom and it's something weird happened, and it's just throw it off. Like throw it off. That's why if you got spotters for squats, which I think is probably good for a lot of situations, you have to communicate with them. And I remember being at the gym I was at before. I might as well start loading this 120 so I'm not just staying here talking for 20 minutes. When I was at the gym before, the old gym I was at, and I would have spots occasionally. It was more so to protect other people at the gym. So if I did miss and dropped it behind me, they weren't getting hit by the weights, or it wasn't rolling on them, or, you know, doing anything crazy like that. But I would always communicate with the people that I was training with, or they were spotting me, that I just wanted them to pull the bar off of me. I wasn't trying to work the weight back up. Like, if I was failing, that was it for the day. I would grind out squats. Yeah, anyone that's watched me for a while knows that I'm a grindy squatter anyway, especially when it gets heavy. So I wouldn't want people to be like trying to grab it at that point, because then I feel like it would throw me off balance wise. And then I would end up having to, you know, have them pull it all the way up. So I tell them, like, if I fail, I'm going to just sit down and you guys just make sure it gets off my back. And I've never had an issue. The only time I ever missed a back squat forward was after driving from Florida to Ohio in 24 hours, driving all day, literally, and then trying to squat the next day and squatting quite heavy. But that was being stupid on my part, because it wasn't even like a recovery thing. I just had no chance of squatting heavy. And before I do this rep, one of the strategies I use with the belt right now is, obviously I just put it on early, but it's not cranked. I think I go one notch tighter when I'm doing my heavier sets. Now it's just kind of like, I could just leave this on all day and it would be fine, just to kind of feel it on. And then as I get heavier, like probably for the next set, I might put it a little bit tighter, but it works. I don't know. I'm not worried about 120, thankfully. All right. Try to make this feel easy too. Oh, I feel like it's moving fine. I'm just sore. But we'll keep moving up. That's what the AI told me to. Don't tell the AI system, but I made a deal with myself that if I can do a single at 200, so throughout the sets work up to 200, then I don't have to do my accessories, which is jumps and good morning. So if I can do 200, then we're chilling. If we can't do 200, then I have to do accessories. And I don't want to do accessories, so let's do 200. This is 152. Got the belt a little bit tighter. And we're just going to start working. Just singles though, so not really too much work. It's moving all right. Doesn't feel great. Leg wise, hip wise, everything kind of hurts a little bit, but nothing that's too bad. So it's kind of had this similar, actually had a very similar feeling yesterday when I did the first triple at 152, where I was like, these feel horrendous. But I did another set at 152 and then started building weight, and then, you know, got to the top set. So I'm going to assume a similar thing's going to happen, to where as I start adding weight, my body will continue to get warmed up. But 152 is kind of like that first test of like, all right, I can squat today, and it might hurt, but I'm going to do it. So we're going to go right to 170 from here. So that was 152. So we'll just take a big jump to there, and that'll be the last big jump, and then we'll just do 10 kilos from there. So we're up to 170 now. One of the strategies you can use in the app, so like I was supposed to have 8 singles. That last one I counted as my first working set, just so I don't have to do, I guess, all 8, but like I'm counting it as one of the 8. Because I know I'm going to probably be able to build up to 200. And I'm hoping that I don't have to do too much after that, or if I take off sets after that, then I won't feel too bad. But it's 170, so do this 170 here. If it feels all right, we'll go up to 180. But no music, I suppose, makes it a little bit more difficult, but got the pressure of the video playing, which helps. Okay. So just a single, 170. It didn't feel too bad. A little bit slower than I would have liked, but one of the things it's important to realize too, more so for myself, thinking of how I assess like if I can go up or not, is I went from 152 to 170. So like the amount difference of difficulty from that makes sense because I took a big jump. If I went like 152 to 160 and it felt like that, I'd be like, that's not going to be a good day. But when you take a big jump like that, then you know you still have more jumps to take, especially because I grinded a little bit, but it wasn't like anything that I was like really fighting for. So we'll go to 180, see how that feels, and hopefully hit 190 again. So 10 kilo jump up to 180. Did this yesterday for 3. Does not mean I'm going to be able to do it easily today. But we're going to give it an old try. Goal today is still 200. I think it's possible. We just have to maintain our positions and move fast. Much better, much better. And that's one of the things that will happen is, like I took the 152 jump to 170, and I went, that felt a lot heavier, but a smaller jump to 180, then I'm able to groove it in, and it feels the same. If anything, it felt a little bit better than 170, but it certainly didn't feel any worse. So that means I definitely can push up to 190 because I'm taking smaller jumps now. Normalize taking bigger jumps in your training. It is very helpful, but understand what those jumps mean. If you go from a 120 to 170 squat, it's going to feel a lot heavier, but it doesn't mean that that's the end of your squat workout. But I'm trying to get 190 on there. 190, then 200. So we're up to the same weight that we did yesterday. I do the same thing we did on that 180, and it should move fine. Have to earn a 10th at 200. That's for damn sure. Yep, no problem. Oh, it's nice to have my legs back. It'll be the biggest thing that will help with clean jerks, well, all my lifts, but just having my legs back and being able to push my squats up. So we definitely got 200 for the attempt. We'll go for that. But yeah, just moving smooth. So it's 200. This is the goal for the day. Not worried about anything else other than this weight. Making sure that I hold my positions. 190 move fine. This should move. All right. Trust me. Whew, felt heavy. That's definitely where I'm going to stop. I don't think there's not any huge benefit of going up heavier, even though I feel like it moved okay. I had to get pretty focused up for that and grind. So I'm not worried about trying to push up, because then what's probably going to result is me failing or doing one that's so extremely difficult that it's going to fatigue me too much. That's something I've learned from squats over the years, is you get like one of those before you destroy your nervous system for your next training system. If I were to, I potentially could do it again, but I don't really think that would be smart either. But if I were to go up from there, I'm probably just going to fail it behind, or just fail it at the bottom. Or it's going to be so difficult that I'm just going to be wrecked for tomorrow. So I think I have to front squat again tomorrow. So three straight days squat. I'm on that Ivan squat every day program, but we're going to drop down to 150. And I don't know how many reps left are in the app, but I'm going to do them buttless, and I'm going to just do one set theoretically, unless it feels horrendous. But we'll drop back down to 152 because I don't want to do any more weight. That's good enough. I hit my goal. I've escaped my accessory work, so we'll just hit a set with 152 and be done. 1 or 2 sets. We'll see how many reps I actually have left. The good news is I just have a triple. I just have 3 more singles. The app was being obnoxious. I put the 152 in because I put that last one was 0 reps in reserve, and so it naturally dropped me down to 190. I, of course, don't want to do 190 again, so I manually put in 152. And since I'm going to combine the last 3 sets, I just entered in 3 RIR because it usually keeps it the same. But this one, it dropped it 3 kilos, which is weird. But I was like, well, I'll put it at 4 RIR, and it put it up 1 kilo, which who adds 1 kilo to a squat at any point? But then I did 3, 3, 3, and it was it changed the weight by a kilo each time. So I just manually put it in, but I just thought that was just kind of funny that it was really trying to manipulate 1 kilo here or there. And for, you know, from 152 of what my current best is now, which is probably like 220. That's not that important, like 1 kilo with that. So I find that kind of funny, but we're just doing a triple here. It will probably feel more difficult than I'm hoping, but it should be pretty manageable. It'll probably feel a lot more difficult because of no belt. And I've been really utilizing it, and I think I do get a lot of help from it when I do. So we'll be cautious with this and try not to be a maniac. But, you know, I was doing triples yesterday with 190, so, or a triple, so we should be all right. Not super easy, but nothing hurt in like my hip or my back area, which is nice. But kind of expected it to feel not the easiest after how hard I've been doing squats yesterday and today. That's the end of this workout. So if you saw the previous video, that is the lifts that I did prior, squats. This will be its own separate video. I might start doing more mic'd up videos in situations like this where I can just pick one exercise and do, because I feel like it's too hot outside. But I feel like when I do like a whole workout, it's hard to find a really short workout, because otherwise it'll be like a 2-hour video of me talking about training. It'll make my lifting last forever, but this is more condensed and more focused on one specific thing. And I'm still able to talk about all the same things, but I think for like squats and stuff, it will probably be easier to do just because there's less thinking. Less thinky, more ooga booga. But triple has got to me. But it's very hot outside. It's very humid. All the excuses for being out of condition. But it's hard to really say I'm out of condition when I did all the training yesterday and today just fine. So everything's moving well. I'm happy. Squats are back to being just hard to do because I'm weak and not because they hurt, which is nice. So all signs are pointing in the right direction, but whew, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for this video. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.